Thank you for watching his Empire.
Let's go back from the beginning.
Right before his
From going viral overnight to now drifting into irrelevance. From rubbing shoulders with the biggest celebrities every week to now getting kicked out of major sporting events.
So, do you know if he's actually crashed now? Completely or not?
No, not really. I think he's just done a few things when
Not as popular.
Yeah, it's
nobody
not as
cares
popular.
about nobody cares about assault.
Yeah, that was the magic on the beginning, I
Correct.
guess. But
From bragging about $100,000 dinner bills at his luxury steakhouses to watching
I was gonna say, have you seen these bills?
That's crazy.
I've seen some people uploading, like, honestly, when you say 10 grand, it was just nothing
That's a deposit
for
on
a
a house.
steak. Yeah, exactly.
What, six? How much was that?
right before
600K?
his eyes.
630
Story is
for
a
a steak.
textbook
For a steak,
example of
that's
how
ridiculous.
internet fame can vanish just as fast as it arrives, especially when ego takes the spotlight and everyone sees the attention-hungry narcissist man behind the meme. Hi, I'm the Internet Anarchist. I create weekly YouTube documentaries, and today we'll be taking a closer look at the downfall of Salt Bae, how he went from
Well, I was just gonna say, the amount of money he charged for the food, realistically, he's made. So a normal restaurant might take 10 years. He's come for like 5, and then he's gone. But he probably made more money doing that.
100%.
You know what I mean? You know what I mean?
humble beginnings to ruling the internet at one point and then losing it all to arrogance and greed, all while building a business empire that, behind the gold-plated steaks and viral clips, hid a toxic culture of exploiting staff and reckless practices that put lives at risk. Though, before it all came crashing down, Salt Bae's rags to riches story was quite the inspiration. Nusret Göçe started his life in a small Turkish village called Pazli, with limited resources and poor infrastructure. His father also worked as an ordinary mine worker, which unfortunately didn't pay enough to support a family. Due to the family's financial struggles, Nusret had to leave school at the age of 13 and start working as an apprentice at a butcher shop in Istanbul. And while Nusret had to work 13 grueling hours a day every day without a single day off, this job marked the beginning of his journey in the food industry, with him going on to work at various steakhouses across Turkey as years went by. Then, in 2007, he secured a $3,400 bank loan to travel across multiple countries and learn more about their meat industries and the steakhouse businesses. After doing this for 3 years, he returned to Turkey in 2010 and opened his very own steakhouse. It was a fairly small restaurant with just 8 tables.
Just a thought, 2007, you could travel from, what was it, 3.5 grand? You can travel the
For
world
3 years.
for 3
Because
years.
he came back in 2010. No, but he would have been working.
Crazy.
No, but he would have been working, right?
Yeah.
He would have bought his
Yeah, that's
ticket,
true.
gone somewhere, got a job in a kitchen,
And-
what he wouldn't have survived on a grand a year. In 2007, that's not possible. But traveling, yeah.
Yeah, and the other thought I had, like, I just had a chat with my mate who's also working in a restaurant, and that's why most of the people not making it who's got restaurants, because they never worked in a restaurant. Like, this guy was working there, you know, worked his way up the ladder,
Yeah, you know, from the ground up.
and yeah, exactly. Because some people just got money, let's open a restaurant or
Yeah.
buy a franchise,
Yeah.
because it's easy to do, and then obviously it just goes
The
bust.
pitfalls and that. You don't know how to cut. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah, so that's why I think he made it, but
yeah.
and a handful of staff. Despite this, Nusret Steakhouse managed to catch the attention of high-end clientele, including the Turkish billionaire Ferit Sahenk, who was so impressed by the quality of food and service that he offered to invest and help Nusret branch out not just in Turkey, but across the Middle East. By the end of 2016, Nusret was already
That does help though. If a billionaire comes along, but
Yeah.
but then the food would have had to been great. So whatever he was delivering, the guy, a billionaire has been to multiple restaurants. to go to his restaurant and be like, I want to invest in it.
A fairly successful businessman. What he didn't know, however, was that his luck was about to change once again. On January 7th, 2017, he posted a video of himself dressed in a tight white t-shirt and dark sunglasses while slicing meat, and sprinkling salt on it in the most unusual ways. This went viral, racking up millions of views and shooting Newsrat into internet stardom practically overnight. The moment of him pouring the salt got turned into a meme as well, making him even more popular than just the viral.
That's the thing, like, this is what, you know, we always talk about. If you don't do it, you're never gonna make it.
True.
But you need to try.
It's
like,
true. It's true.
That's why we've got like an hour or two.
Yeah.
Why just not sit down and try? Yeah, that's why you know, as I told you before, I'm thinking of doing a YouTube channel for like 2 years now.
Yeah.
And I never started.
Yeah.
But you're there now because you started it.
Yeah.
And you know, I'm sure it will turn out like this. Who would have think? A short
I remember
video.
that video. The crazy,
I
the
remember
crazy,
as well.
I remember
Yeah.
that exact video.
Yeah.
I remember seeing that video. I'm
Yeah.
clicking follow. I think I still follow him now.
Unbelievable.
Yeah.
Like so many people made it like this. And yeah.
If it's your time, it's your
Respect,
time.
yeah.
But you, like you said, you got to keep doing it.
Yeah,
It would've-
exactly.
If you go onto his feed, any money, that's probably video number, whatever. He's been posting. He posted the first video and it blew up. You know what I mean?
yeah, consistency for
Yeah.
sure. Yeah.
Popular than just the viral clip, with people now referring to him as the quote Salt Bay. Lamau, Salt Bay is at the other side of the world and has no idea he's an instant classic with Black Twitter. It's gonna be crazy to tell kids, oh yeah, that's Salt Bay, the way my dad told me about Paul Newman. I dressed up as Salt Bay for Halloween. From parody skits on national television,
It's happening!
to professional athletes celebrating with his signature move on the biggest stages, Salt Bay had quickly become one of the most recognizable faces on the internet. This was a powerful position to be in, and Nusret understood this better than anyone else, because not long after he went viral, Salt Bay announced plans to open luxury restaurants in both New York and London that same month, followed by several more locations worldwide over the upcoming months. Now, the menu in these new restaurants was outrageously expensive, including things like a $100 burger, $10 for a can of Red Bull, $25 for a single dessert, and the star of the show, the $1,800 24-karat gold-coated tomahawk steak. Despite this, Salt Bay's restaurants were a massive hit almost instantly, with people traveling to them from around the world. More than the food itself, people were buying into an exclusive, over-the-top experience just for the chance to see the man himself in person.
Yes, sir.
Week after week, his restaurants attracted the biggest names in sports, music, films, and beyond. Salt Bay had successfully turned a viral internet moment into a multi-million-dollar global brand. But behind all of the gold steaks and celebrity selfies, the reality was far from glamorous. Because as it turned out, when it came to the actual food, Salt Bay's empire was style over substance. His London steakhouse, for example, was ranked among the bottom 33% of restaurants in the city on TripAdvisor, scoring a measly 2.9 stars with over 350 reviews, out of which
But I was going to say, is that because the restaurant's crap? Or could it be people hating on the fact that he's charging?
Probably.
You know what I mean? Because
yeah.
imagine a steakhouse next door is charging £100 pounds.
It's just crazy.
He's there charging
like,
£1,800 for a steak. Obviously gold, whatever.
Yeah, but still, like, you know, I like tasty food, so, you know, probably if I would be rich, I wouldn't mind spend this kind of money, or maybe I would. I'm not sure. Unfortunately, I've never
But you
been
might
in
not go
this
there.
situation.
But you might not go there every day. If you got the money to buy an £1,800 steak, you might not choose to go there. Hey, I'm gonna go for lunch. Why don't we go Salt Bay and
Yeah,
spend
exactly.
£5 grand? You're not
Yeah,
gonna do that.
yeah.
But you might have like a birthday party,
Yeah.
and you want like the Salt Bay sprinkle for the socials and everything, and then you go there. You know what I mean? Which makes sense. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
but don't forget that this is London reviews. People can be really picky.
Yeah,
there.
but all I'm thinking is that the people that are going there to eat. So he's just got a normal steakhouse with high bills. Now, me and you now, we're not in a position to go, or I'm not in a position to go and buy an £1,800 steak.
Nah.
But if I did, I wanted to be the best steak I've ever eaten.
Yeah.
Now, if it wasn't, he might get a bad review.
True.
You understand? So
That's
that
true.
could be why.
Completely.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because the rich guys are
Or
gonna
you just
there.
go there to see him.
Yeah, exactly.
Because he should, like, £1,800 steak, I would expect him to
no,
serve
but
the steak.
no. But
You know?
why? Why?
Well, why not?
Imagine the whole restaurant's eating 800. And you know, that's what I'm trying to say. The mentality going there, you go in there spend £1,800 as if you were spending £50. But if you're not in that bracket and then you spend that hard-earned money and the steak is mediocre, or it's like, you know, like you had a better steak somewhere else, you might be like, I'll give you 2 stars.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying?
I've been to Gauchos. You've been to
I've been to Gauchos, yeah.
In
Is it
Richmond.
Richmond?
Yeah, Richmond. So that's a nice steak. I think it's more expensive than other places, but I think I had the best steak there in my life. I
Okay.
think.
The best steak I've had. We're advertising it. I don't mind.
Yeah.
Have you ever been to Prime Steak?
Prime steak?
Yeah.
No.
Prime Steak in Beaconsfield.
Nah, not
I think they've got another one
I've
near
been
Watford.
around there.
But
Okay.
Prime Steak, hands down,
Okay.
best steak. Hands down.
I'll check
I'm not
it out.
even, I went to South Africa.
Okay.
So I was in South Africa and I came back and my pal was like, yeah, I found a steakhouse, let's go and get some food.
Nice.
Got there and I'm like, this is on par. And I was eating in the finest restaurant in South Africa. You know, in Santon. There's an area called Santon. Yeah. Like top restaurants. You know what I mean?
Nice.
And that steakhouse is on par. I wasn't that impressed. Maybe I went on the wrong day, I ordered the wrong steak. I wasn't impressed by Gauchos. I wasn't that impressed.
Yeah.
It was nice.
Yeah.
But it wasn't for me anyway. For me. But we gotta go Prime Steak. Trust me, Prime
let's
Steak
do it. Go.
Beaconsfield,
Why not?
top notch.
Years, out of which 167 labeled it as outright terrible, with reviews like bad food at crazy prices, all
Give me the
seen
answer.
and zero substance.
But that's what I'm saying. You can't afford the food. You go in there expecting, like, if you can afford it and it's £50 to you, it doesn't matter. It's like we went to Miller & Carter, which is
Yeah, I
mid-level.
know. Yeah,
it's mid-level.
fine.
It's not Miller & Carter isn't like
I'm
top.
okay with that, yeah.
So if we went there and you tried the food there, you pay the 50 quid, it's not a problem. Yeah. But if you go for £800, you expect that to be more than Miller & Carter, when potentially it isn't. You know what I mean?
The biggest scam ever. Food was undercooked and tasted awful, as well as terrible service, way too expensive for being treated like third-class citizens. To make matters even worse, his burger joint in New York was branded as the worst restaurant in the city, with professional critics describing the food using phrases like a little rubbery and low on flavor, mundane, somewhat tough and rather bland, shoe leather tough, and public ripoff #1. You'd think that after seeing such terrible reception, Nusret would focus on eliminating those issues. However, the Salt Bae did not care one bit. He viewed himself as some sort of icon, saying things like, "Now everybody wants to be a butcher because of me. Now if you ask a kid, they want to be Salt Bae. They see me as an idol. I'm an inspiration to a lot of people in a very short period of time." It was clear that his instant online fame had inflated his ego beyond bounds. The quality of food, the customer experience, it all took a back seat. What mattered most was the performance. He even started bragging openly on social media, sharing receipts of customers spending over $100,000.
What's that? 61. How much is that? 615,000.
Yeah, I think it's.
Is that 600?
Yeah, it must be.
615,000.
Yeah, but it's not dollars or British pounds. I think
It's something else.
Yeah.
I was gonna say. Now where's that? Maria Island. Where's
The location?
Galleria Amaria?
Abu Dhabi.
Abu Dhabi.
Yeah.
Okay, so yeah. So it's not pounds. Yeah.
Well, it would have.
Dollars on a single meal, using them like trophies to show off his status. And it wasn't long before the brand stopped being about food entirely and became all about him. He filled his feed with shirtless videos, struck poses like a runway model, and carried himself like an A-list celebrity. But while the cameras were still rolling and the likes kept coming, behind the scenes, everything was starting to go downhill. The first domino fell in September 2018, when a fire stunt meant to impress diners went horribly wrong.
Oh my god! Ah!
Oh wow.
Oh my god!
That's bad.
That's bad.
Flames shot out of control, injuring 4 people, including
did
Czech
that? That
Internet
wasn't Finnish.
personality
Yeah, there
Tina
was someone in the background.
Stretnikova.
Remember
She
Trump?
suffered third-degree burns over 35% of her body and was
Wow.
hospitalized for months. And while she managed to survive, her appearance was altered permanently. The incident made international headlines, yet the Salt Bae made no public statements or apologies, pretending like the incident never even happened. But his silence was just the tip of the iceberg, because while his customers were fighting for their lives, he was busy feeding a dictator. That same month, Venezuelan President Nicolas Maduro and his wife visited Salt Bae's restaurant in Istanbul, where they were treated to a lavish multi-$1,000 meal. And to add insult to injury, this all happened while Venezuela was in the midst of a devastating food crisis, with over 64% of the country's population losing an average of 11 kilograms or
So I get it. He didn't apologize. That I understand. But should he not serve that man? It's not his fault that the guy's a dictator, is it?
Yeah, exactly.
What are you going to do? Not serve him? I'll take a political stand and the guy's paying £800.
Yeah.
Maybe even more for the steak.
Of course, yeah. Like, yeah, it's always tough to get into politics, you know. That's why I know so many people, like, they're not even, if this kind of topic comes up,
Don't even talk
they
about it.
don't even talk about
Yeah.
it. They're not taking sides. Like, let's say Ronaldo, Messi, you've never seen them in this kind of situation, or, you know, some famous people, like, even, yeah, some actors do, but yeah.
Damned if you do, damned if you don't. If you
think-
take a side, you lose. If you don't take a side, you lose. So you better say
Exactly.
nothing.
I think if you are a public figure, influencer, whoever you are, I don't think you should take any sides, because it's never gonna be.
No, I think if you take it strongly enough to take a side, then take a side. But
Yeah, yeah.
you know what I mean? Like, if it
Yeah, of
affects you
course,
not personally, but if you think that, you know what, I need to take a side against it, stand against this, I understand that.
Yeah.
But if you want to carry on doing business, it's not wise.
But in this case, I don't think it's any of these.
He should have apologized to the woman.
Yeah, yeah.
They
To
should
the
have
woman,
apologized.
I agree with that. But not serving the guy.
Or you got to bear in mind, she got 35% burns on 35% of her body, right?
Yeah.
In hospital for months. Should he apologize if he settled it? So if he turned around and gave her 5 million, for example, for damages, is he obligated to apologize? Do you understand?
Yeah, I see.
So
what
if
you
they've
mean.
agreed out of court, she's clearly got a settlement.
Yeah, of course.
Because
Yeah.
they burnt her, innit?
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah.
disfigured her for life. So if she's given her 10 million, I'm not, just hypothetically, he's given her 10 million as a settlement. He said, look, the person he went to see her, apologized, said, look, we're going to give you, what would be fair? She said 10. He paid her 10, settled. Does he?
Yeah, I think it's not just about the money, obviously. I think that there is some kind of compensation. I think.
No,
there
but
should have been,
what I mean is that, does he
but the
is he
apology-
obligated to apologize on behalf of his brand?
It wasn't him on the video, was it?
No, he didn't do it, but it's his company.
Yeah,
So
well,
is that okay?
Yeah,
You're producing.
If it's me, I would probably, yeah.
I would apologize.
I would
I would apologize.
Personally, I would, yeah.
I'd apologize.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It doesn't cost
Unless
anything.
the lawyer said not to.
Yeah, we don't
Unless
know
he
that.
did. Yeah.
What's in the background, but
You know what I
I
mean?
think an apology, yeah, you kind of
Because as a normal human being, that's something that you would do, innit?
Yeah.
You'd be like, look, I'm sorry. You can't. But I suppose apologizing is accepting liability. So if
Yeah.
the lawyer said to me, you can't apologize, he can't apologize, can he?
True.
You know what I mean? But
Yeah.
let's go.
over 25 pounds due to food shortages and widespread hunger. Any person with even a shred of empathy might have declined to host a man overseeing that suffering. But not only did Salt Bae welcome him with open arms, he posted multiple videos online bragging about it. As you might imagine, the backlash was immediate and intense, and it wasn't confined to behind the screen. Protests broke out in front of his restaurants in Miami and New York. The issue even resonated with the US Senate, with Senator Marco Rubio stating, "I don't know who this weirdo Salt Bae is, but the guy he is so proud of to host is not the president of Venezuela. He is actually the overweight dictator of a nation where 30% of people only eat once a day, and infants are suffering from malnutrition." He eventually deleted the videos, but true to form, he never offered an apology. Because for Salt Bae, the performance always mattered more than the people. But Salt Bae's disregard didn't stop at bad reviews, burning guests, or feeding dictators. Things were even uglier behind the kitchen door. It all came to light in April of 2023, when Business Insider published an investigation report, uncovering a string of lawsuits and disturbing allegations that revealed an empire built on fear, exploitation, and control. Former staff described Salt Bae as a petty tyrant obsessed with image, power, and excess, with a former manager stating, "His world was nothing but Instagram and fame. The sensation was him. He ended up getting this godlike complex." Employees were fired without warning, sometimes for accidentally breaking a glass or simply wearing the wrong shirt. A bartender in London said working there felt like being in the Hunger Games. Another even compared Salt Bae to being a straight-up dictator. And that wasn't even the worst of it. Workers were forced to stage fake lines outside during slow hours and even sleep overnight in the restaurant during the COVID-19 pandemic and social unrest, all without getting paid overtime. And while he flaunted his wealth online, employees say he stole tips and punished mistakes by slashing workers' pay. In multiple lawsuits, employees alleged that management skimmed off 3% of tips or withheld them entirely, especially when high-profile celebrities were dining. A class action suit even stated that the management systematically fired each waiter who complained about not getting paid tips. One 19-year-old food runner had $140 deducted from her pay for delivering a bag of leftover steak to the wrong table. Another had $800 in tips slashed because a customer left without paying, as if she was supposed to hunt down the dine and dashes and collect the bill. But for the women working under Salt Bae, the exploitation went a level deeper, into humiliation, harassment, and outright abuse. A bartender, for instance, was told to wear a quote, short skirt, high heels, and revealing top on her first day. When she protested, she was harassed by male co-workers. One even followed her home. And just days after requesting to wear a standard uniform, she was fired. Another lawsuit claimed that a female server was denied a promotion because Salt Bae allegedly didn't find her physically appealing enough. And if all this wasn't bad enough, the horrendous culture of his restaurants reached the customers as well. Employees were routinely told to lie to customers, claiming cheaper cuts were premium, pouring leftover wine into new glasses, and even falsely labeling steaks as halal. Quote, "It was just about trying to get almost as much money."
Oh wow.
It's getting worse and worse.
I'm not gonna lie, wow, that's crazy.
You just
That's
terrible
crazy.
stories, seriously.
Like you can't even say nothing to that.
No.
Wow.
It's just everything is wrong.
Yeah.
Like, obviously, you know, when these kind of stories getting out, they might gonna, you know, add on to it. It's I mean,
No, but there's a lot.
that's too much. Yeah, it's way too much.
Normally you'd be like, okay, yeah, he didn't apologize or whatever.
I don't know,
mate.
honestly, like, why would you destroy your business in this kind of ways?
Nah, but he's made enough money.
Yeah.
That's what I was
get
saying. That's
that,
what I was saying earlier.
But
Because he's charging 10 times. What am I talking about 10 times? Let's say that cut of meat normally sells for £100. He's selling it for
like
two.
a tomahawk, a bigger one on the
20,
bone.
20
Yeah.
times the amount he's charging. So he's doing like, we only got to sell one. So everybody else is selling 20 steaks. He's selling one. So realistically, his shelf life is 5 years. Restaurant might take 10 years to get to the profit he's made in 5. So you probably don't care. Let's see.
Out of the people who were coming through the door. But even all this wasn't enough to satisfy the Salt Bae's ego. Eventually, his arrogance and sense of untouchable fame pushed him into doing something extreme in front of the whole world, resulting in the biggest public humiliation of his career. It happened on December 18th, 2022, when Argentina won the FIFA World Cup by beating France in a historic final. Fans were celebrating and players were emotional. Then suddenly, out of nowhere, Salt Bae breached the pitch, crashed the moment, and acted like he belonged there. He grabbed Lionel Messi, one of the biggest athletes in the world, at the most significant moment of his career, just to pester him for a photo. Then he somehow found a way to make this even worse, by grabbing the actual World Cup trophy and posing with it, as if he were part of the winning team. With the entire world watching,
You know the craziest thing? He's not even Argentinian.
No, he's not. That's the thing. Like, I mean, when I've seen this,
Yeah, I remember
obviously
seeing this. I remember seeing
I've
it.
watched the final and then the celebration as well, and then I was like, what the hell is
Yeah.
this guy doing there?
He lost the
It's
plot.
got nothing to do with
Yeah,
it.
he lost the plot.
But that's the thing, like it's obviously his fault, but why do you allow him to get there? Like it's as far as I know, there should be players,
Nah, but I
you
think it might be hard. You know, like the security at that point, they know him, innit?
they know
Everyone
him,
knows
yeah,
Salt Bay.
yeah, of course.
So that you probably don't even clock that he's not Argentinian. You're thinking that he's meant to be there because he found a way there. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
like, I mean, these spots are for relatives, so they should know that there is no family member of players there. But yeah,
Yeah, I remember
who
that.
knows? Maybe
That was
he
cringy.
sticked a couple of thousand.
oh yeah, on his way
the
in,
pockets.
yeah,
who
500.
knows?
Yeah, let
Who
me get
knows?
through. Yeah. Let's see.
These cringeworthy moments sparked a wave of online backlash as massive as the viral fame that once made him, with comments reading, "This is the example of people living without feeling shame at all. TF does this guy have to do with this hard-earned victory? Clout chasing on an epic level. What an idiot that guy is." FIFA eventually launched an investigation into the incident, while also banning him from all future events. A ban that seems to be effective to this day, as he was publicly kicked out of the UEFA Champions League final after party on June 1st, 2025, for trying to enter uninvited. He tried to save face by signing autographs outside, and claimed he wasn't there for the party, but for his quote, thousands of fans who wanted to see him. But the internet didn't buy the excuses one bit. Why is he even there in the first place? He's a nobody and hanger-on. Yeah, go and throw your salt somewhere else. That said, this mockery from the internet wasn't as intense as it should have been. Not because people like him now, but because most simply don't care. He's a mostly forgotten relic of the past, and after years of scamming customers with mediocre food, exploiting employees, and humiliating himself on the world stage, Salt Bay is finally paying the price. Most of his US steakhouses have shut down, his London restaurant is seeing a 50% drop in profits, and his Dubai location isn't doing much better either. With businesses in decline, his social media numbers plummeting, and the world turning on him, Salt Bay's story is well and truly over. With some patience, he could have easily ascended to the status of universally beloved figure like Gordon Ramsay. However, he let his ego and greed get in the way, which is exactly what happened to the Island Boys as well. Click the video on screen to find out more.
Yeah, to be fair, Gordon Ramsay isn't charging £1,800 a steak.
Yeah.
Because that's some restaurants that haven't been great, as far as I'm aware. But he's not charging £1,800 a
Nah,
steak.
Gordon Ramsay is completely different.
Completely,
level, I
he's a
think.
chef, he's an actual chef.
He could have made it. Yeah, that's a fair quote. I mean, yeah, he
All
was.
you know what he had to do? Like the video says, quality food to warrant the price tag and a great service.
Yeah,
That's it.
of course.
You know
and
what I'm
then
saying?
the fame, again, it could have come after that, I think, because let's be honest, Gordon Ramsay
No, but
appears here and
but the
there as
difference
well.
between him and Gordon Ramsay, like if Salt Bay had gone and got a TV show, that would have been cool.
That would have been
You know
cool.
what I'm
yeah,
saying? Like,
yeah.
but like Gordon Ramsay not trying to sneak into on football pitches.
No,
you
he's
find
not,
him at his
he's
place
not.
as a business.
Yeah.
You find him at his restaurant,
Of course.
or on a TV show, or doing stuff personally with his family. You don't
Yeah.
see him like trying to get into UEFA Cup unless he's
No.
invited. Beckham invited him, he'd be there. You know what I'm saying? But other than that, he ain't gonna be there.
100%. I mean, I know he's appearing sometimes in F1 races. You know, I just told you
Yeah.
I watch a lot Gordon Ramsay, but he's always
By invite.
invited.
By invite.
Or even when he's there, you know, I've seen some interviews. You know, before the race, there is like a grid walk. He's always respectful. He's different, completely. Like you cannot even compare. I think this is a guy who came from
Now you know
from
what?
nowhere,
he wasn't,
and then
he
he's
wasn't
just
ready for it.
Yeah, he wasn't.
Is that
ready.
what me and Carl were talking? He's not ready. He wasn't ready for it.
Yeah.
But basically, yeah, he's got no class. When you got the quorum and class, you know, like, you know what I mean? Like, you know, okay,
Yeah.
maybe I shouldn't go there. Like, you know, just turn up on a World Cup. That's
And
kissing
touching
the cup.
it and kissing it.
Kissing the cup.
When
man.
you got
play
nothing to
football.
do with it. This is what's too much. I think if he gets onto the pitch, fine.
If you said hello, thank
Yeah.
you, oh, congratulations,
Yeah, but-
kept it moving.
That's too much again. Like Messi celebrating with others and
You know, the
He's
perfect thing is no
touching him and
know
everything.
when to leave the party, mate. He didn't know when to leave the party.
yeah,
But, yeah. Yeah. Good.
nice.
Yeah. Cool.
Okay, well,
Shall we call it a
Yeah.
day?
Please like, comment, share, and subscribe.